Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm making a one photo layout, and if you have been following my channel for a while, you realize that this is something different. I have been working with so many vacation photos now and events where I have multi photos, and I have made double page spreads with full of photos and even with inserts in pocketed pages between them. So this is a rare one. It almost feels unusual. The photo that I'm working on is from our stay at the Njalla Outdoor Museum in Östersund. And my daughter here, she is climbing up the stairs to take a closer look at a Njalla. And a Njalla, it's a bear cache, and the word is from the Sami people language. And a bear cache, it's basically a pantry, a small hut, or just a device where you store your food, and it's up on a pillar. And obviously you get what it's for. It's for keeping your groceries away from the wild animals. In this region, I understood that it was basically the wolverine that you were saving your food from, but of course the name in English also suggests that you wanted to save your food even from the big bad bear. I still have problem choosing the right pronunciation for this bear word. It easily becomes the beverage instead. Anyway, the Njalla and the Sami part of these outdoor museum exhibitions were those that I could have stayed longer at. I feel in my heart that we have been really bad with the indigenous people of our country, as most modern countries have been. And I think that I would profit from learning more about their culture and their history. And at this site, this outdoor museum in Östersund, they had a really great indoor museum about the Sami people traditions, culture and history, and my kids weren't that impressed by this part of the exhibition, so I felt that I needed to rush in my visit there. So perhaps that's somewhere that I would like to go back to later in life. It's not that far from where we live, so I don't think that this is the last time that I visit this display. And anyway, it was very interesting, and for this also was kind of interesting for us, because this was a new word for us. The Njalla to us is bread, and this bread is one that we like to buy when we go for outings and for picnics. It's one of these very flat breads, almost like a tortilla, but we use them for sandwiches. So we spread butter on them, and then we put different kinds of fillings and toppings on them, and then you roll them into a roll, and you can pack those rolls up in plastic or in foil and bring them on your picnic. So it's very convenient kind of picnic food. And so that was the Njalla for us before we visited this display. So it was really interesting, and I remember that when we saw the sign and we saw that, oh, that's the word originally. It's not originally bread, it's originally a pantry. and that it made an impact even on my kids, at least on my daughter, who's a bit older. And my journaling about this will be about the word that this was the original use for the word, and I will be writing that on the ledger paper right to the right of the photo. The papers that I'm using for this page are from Pebbles, and that's the larger classical wood grain that I'm using at the top and the bottom of the page, and the other papers are from Teresa Collins, and I think that I have kind of forgotten about these papers because they are so pretty, but they have been tucked away in a page protector in my paper storage just to keep them together. I think that's a really nice method if you want to keep a collection together, but that has also meant that I have kind of forgotten about how beautiful they are, because when I have flipped through my paper stash, it has just been flipped by. I haven't taken my time to actually look in that page protector, so it's a bit sad, but now I get to use them. Pink wood grain, a little bit of cream colored off-white, and really classical and easy to use patterns. I especially like that wood grain with the flowers on top. It's really sweet. I love it, and I will pick up on the pink, but there's really no pink in the photo. But if you knew my daughter, you would feel that she is kind of she's such a pink colored person and personality, so if you know her, this won't be a mismatch. It's totally okay. Now the base of the layout is done, and it's time to start thinking about the embellishing. I had some small pieces of pink and white paper that I wanted to use as kind of foundation for two clusters on the page, and I'm mixing the patterns, and I'm making a banner border below the photo, and I'm using the same patterns to place some bits and pieces on the upper left corner. I'm inking all the edges of all the papers with brown ink, and that felt applicator that I'm using, that's just one of those Tim Holtz like Velcro mounts, and I'm using a felt piece there, and I'm not very happy about the felt, but it works for me, and I just wet it with any ink that I have at hand. It's mostly the re-inker for the color box chestnut brown ink pad, and it's my favorite. It's always been my favorite inking color. I cut the title for this page, and it is the word Njalla. I cut it with my Cameo in a font that's called Elevate. And most my fonts, I will try always to tell you the name of the font. And I find my fonts at the dafont.com on internet, and it's just one of these wonderful resources for fonts, and they are free. And this was one of the new ones that I had found, and I wanted to use it right away. It was really pretty. The white got lost a bit on the page, so I decided to outline the piece. And instead of drawing the pen line on the actual die cut, I drew the line off the die cut on the background paper, and that was really nice, I think, and it gave a very clean look instead of the messy kind of look that you get when you write the outline on the die cut. The leftover piece there from the die cut cardstock I used to write my journaling on my trusty typewriter. I really love that thing. I brought out some wood veneers, and they were just random stuff that I found. A couple of flowers, an apple, a geotag, and a heart. And I'm painting them with white acrylic paint. I'm using the Liquitex basic paint, and I can buy that really easy at the convenience store nearby. So that's my method of choice. And I'm painting them white because I want to give them a pink kind of tint with my mica colors. And these I think are kind of similar to other mica colors that have appeared on the market. And it's basically watercolors with a glimmer or almost like a metal shine to them. And I have had them for a very long time, and I love them. I pick them out from the cupboard once in a while to give that extra shine to a project, and they work perfect on this kind of wood veneer surface. And I thought that I gave them a bit more alive or dimension touch by placing the color on top of the white color. So that was something that I became rather pleased with, I must say. And on this layout with the wood grain patterns and the white and the pink, they look really like they belong there. I have placed some sparkles, or they are like flowers with almost like a rhinestone finish. I placed those in 2 rows on the banners and on that Project Lifelike card. And I've also found an old, it's like a flare, but it's only a sheet of metal foil up on a dimensional adhesive. I placed that in the upper left cluster, and I think it says something like "so clever," and I think that was appropriate for this kind of storage device for food. And then I've also placed a heart doily under the journaling block, and that heart doily I bought at a museum shop here at Jamtli. It was one of my 2 kind of exceptions from my spending freeze during the summer. Here are some close-ups of the finished page and also close-up of the photo. And I hope that you have enjoyed this process video, and I would be really happy if you came back soon to my channel again. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.